sabotage. Open up, open cold as ice and Coca-Cola. Open up.
Guys, welcome to Tuesday Tea. I am Rebecca Rose. You may recognize me from such educational films as Tuesday Tea on Snapchat, because that was the thing. But we're here now. We're trying to do up YouTube and we live. Okay. So today's topic is about why I think, sorry, there's toast in my gums. The topic today is about, in my opinion, why relationships don't work out. Okay, people end up growing. They meet at one point and make an agreement that cool, we're going to be in a situation, but then as time goes on and progresses, they end up going in different directions. That's not to say that one is better than the other, but it's to say that life happens and people grow. You cannot blame someone's growth for not being on the same level as yours, or your growth level to not be on the same level as theirs. So the reason I say this, as I said, I'm 25. I've had my fair share of relationships already. It's been a lot. And they've all been different. Although there's been some similarities, they've all been very different. But from each person that I've spent a portion of my life with, I've taken something from them in terms of like experience or their characteristics or things I don't appreciate. I still take them with me. So that next time round, I can ensure I don't become the thing I dislike. So, is that on my camera or on my wall? Because I will get mad. Oh, it's okay, it's on the camera. So for example, you know, when these people, they want to be part of the process, so they might even see the video. So I'm not trying to make anyone feel special out here, like they're in my mind, but I've definitely dated some people that decided, like, this is what I want, but then when it really came down to it and they could see that I wasn't on no play business, all of a sudden, oh no, like backtrack. No, like, just be honest and just say, like, it's kind of like the thing I said about the cheating video, like, when you're not on something, be confident in saying, excuse me, this is not for me, thank you for your time, but arrivederci, we're not staying with this situation because it's not for me. It's the same thing. If you're with someone and you just feel that it's not for you, you're allowed to change your mind. It's gonna upset people, of course, but there's a quote that I love, and every time I feel unsure about something or someone, I always just have to remind myself this, that how do I say it? So the quote is, I hope you find someone who speaks your language so you don't have to spend a lifetime translating your spirit. Do you know how beautiful and so true that quote is? Like, you're going to have to go through trial and error. Like, you're going to have to, like I said before in the cheating video, life is about using people, and it's not always in a negative sense. When we use the word use, we automatically think, oh, that's bad, man, but no, like, you do use people. You end up, getting into a relationship because you want to use that person to feel loved. You want to use that person to build. You want to use that person to share things with. You're not using them in a negative sense, but you are using them because, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Then when you get to a certain point, you have to ask yourself, like, I've used you up now and I'm not gaining anything from it anymore. And in turn, you are losing because I'm not putting nothing back into you, because I'm not gaining. I'm just taking from you. So the right thing to do is walk away, no? Surely the right thing to do is walk away, because in doing that and staying with them, not only are you stunting your own growth and wasting your own time, but somebody else could be out there finding you and finding said other person, and you wouldn't have to stay steady translating each other's spirit to each other. It's long. You know, people say life is short, life is not actually short. Life is long.
But time goes quick.
Life is long for most people, but the time goes quick. Listen, if you sat me down, and told me 10 years ago that I'll be 25 and I'm 15, I would have laughed at you, because you don't have that in your mind at that age. Your juvenile mind doesn't have that ahead way of thinking. So even now, our adult mind doesn't have that elderly mind way of thinking. We don't have it. So before you know it, it will be there. You will be there. Before you know it, you'll be in your 50s and you'll be thinking, rah, sorry, where did that time go? Because I remember sitting in front of the camera in my bedroom talking bare shit, and now I'm 56 and I've got nothing to show for it. You have to really be logical about these things, man. You have to be. Because in life, yeah, if you're not keeping up, you'll get left behind. Most definitely, you'll get left behind. And in terms of like relationship wise, yeah, it can feel so hard to let someone go, but it can be even harder to stay with them when you know like it's gonna end. So I feel like, why wouldn't you just speed up that process when you know that long term you're not going to stay with that person is not going to stay with you. Sometimes someone has to take the L and say, boom, I'm gonna make a decision that's better for the both of us, even though right now you may not see it, but long term it's gonna pay off. Do you know what I mean? Because you're making people miss whole entire lifetimes in the time that you might be sitting there wasting their time because you're too shook to let it go, or you don't want to walk away, or you're not sure if it's going to work out. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Life is about trial and error. No, listen, I can't sit in front of you here and talk to you about things as if I'm some kind of life guru or some kind of life coach, or I don't have a cheat book for this thing, you know. I don't have it. But what I do have is a lot of failed situations that have brought me to this point to be like, rah, like, this is really what it is. So when you're out there and you're experiencing all these different things, try, even though sometimes you feel the depths of just sorrow, or I don't know, like you just feel lost, or you just feel like this is unbearable, like how can you ever see past it? Always in your mind remember that nothing is long term. Happiness is never long term. Pain is never long term. Misery is never long term. You just have to be in it and survive through it to come back on the other side and say, okay, cool, now what did I learn from that? What did I really learn from that situation? As much as it broke me, it tore me down, what can I take from it that's positive? Because I can't undo the fact that it's happened to me, or the fact that I've made it happen onto somebody else. So what do I take from it now? That's why when I said before about the cheating thing, I feel proud to say I cheated, because of course I'm not proud of what I did. What I did was heartbreaking for some people. What I did was not fair. It was wrong. It was beneath me, because I'm just not that way inclined, innit? So I had to really assess what it was in my life that was making me go through that and behave out of character in that sense. But when I say I'm proud to say that I cheated, I'm not saying I'm cheating. I cheated. Is it in the past? It's part of my lifetime, but I have come over that. I've been through it and I've seen a different sense and been like, yeah, that's not for me. And unfortunately, some people have to try these things to know it's not for them. Some people can just be like, yeah, well, it's not for me. Maybe their moral code is stronger than others. I don't know, innit? But for me, going through experiences is better, because in turn, I like to try and help people and say to them, rah, like, you don't have to waste your time going through something I've already been through when I can sit here and tell you what the end result is likely to be. But some people want to know from themselves, and unfortunately some people have to only learn through feeling. And you know what they say, if they don't hear, they must feel. So sometimes that's it. So when you feel like you're preaching to people, you're telling people do this, do that, sometimes don't feel the pressure. Like, just let them land, let them go through it, let them be how they have to be, because not all the lessons that you learn are there for you to teach others. Sometimes they're just there for you to hold. Even though someone else might go through something so similar, allow them to go through it. And don't see it as a defeat. As if you educate someone on something and then they still make, in your eyes, a mistake, just allow them to make a mistake. Because at some point in life, when you was doing what you was doing, I'm sure that somebody else was saying to you, can you get it together, because this is too much. So in life, when you feel like you're, I don't know, like you feel like, I mean, me, when I always go into relationships now, my mindset is this person is for me, like, and maybe at that point in life they are for you, but then as time goes on, and sometimes you're a product of your experiences and your environments, so you might have been in the mind frame to be ready, do you know what I mean? But then the person that you've got with doesn't match that, and that's not always a negative thing. Imagine if they matched it and they wasn't being genuine, and then you got more and more and more invested, and as time went on, what they could have really been honest about, or some people might say sloppy, because you know, like, why can't you just fake it? But if they was sloppy in the beginning with like pretending or whatever, you become more invested, you'll be building yourself up more and more and more, and then as time goes on, you know you're gonna just get let down anyway. So when someone's presenting you with something, take them as they are. If it don't make sense, then ask yourself why it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make you feel good, ask yourself, why don't this make me feel good when it should? You know what I'm saying? People always say love hurts, but truly love shouldn't really hurt. It shouldn't hurt you. What kind of shit is that? So what's pain meant to do to you then? Make you feel loved? Make it make sense, man. I hate 2020. But I don't even know what to say. Guys, when somebody brings themselves to you and you feel like they're not genuine, ask yourself why you feel they're not genuine. Because there's no right or wrong to this. Some people are really good at reading energy and some people are very blind to it. And those that are blind to it, ask yourself, why am I being blind to it? What is it that I'm trying to overlook all the time? What is it? Do you love yourself enough to be like, no, this don't make sense to me, so do you know what, I'm not about to have it. Like, I'm not about to have it. Or are you someone that thinks it don't make sense, but I could be wrong? Like, have strength. Like, say it with chest. If you feel something is not correct, say it with chest. Like, don't be always second guessing yourself, especially when your gut instinct comes into play. There's something that will just tell you, to the point where sometimes you can feel like you're insane because you feel like you're making things up in your head, but really your brain is just doing all the maths and you didn't even realize. And then you get to a point of like realization and you're like, raw, like, swear, say, mums, like, what? Like, when did this happen, please? At what point did this happen? But yeah, it's just wild. And that's why, yeah, you see me, I don't carry no negative feelings. Any exes, I don't even like using the word ex because I just dislike it. Like, I don't like all the other connotations. Anyway, I don't like all the other ideas that go along with the word ex, like my ex. I remember when I had my first relationship, yeah, I didn't even know what ex was. I never had ex before. Like, what? But I don't like that because I feel like no matter what, yeah, anything any of them have put me through, thank you. Because you know what? I'm not half bad as a human being. I've done my thing. I've been through some terrible things. Things that I wouldn't wish on people that I despise. I don't even despise them, but if I did, I would never wish it on them. But do you know what? I'm here in front of you. I live to tell the tale. And I'm using my experience in a positive way. I'm not angry at the world. I'm not negative. I'm not making it about me. Do you know how much billions of people there is on the earth? Sometimes you have to really think about the number to make you realise that, raw, the world really don't revolve around you. And true say, if you went missing, a lot of people wouldn't even know. So you need to really just look at things in a certain way. You can't spend your time using your life experiences to be angry at the world. Life is going to deal you some ugly cards, man. But you play them same way. You play them same way because you will live to tell the tale. That's how you have to see it. I will live to tell the tale. I will live to tell the tale. One day you'll be sitting in front of your grandchildren. You'll be talking to them about something that you went through. And it won't be your reality at the time. But at the time when it is your reality, you can never see past it. So you have to be strong. That's why I don't carry no bad feelings on my exes. You did whatever to me. You put your hands on me. You cheated on me. You did this to me. You slept with my friend. You did this. I don't care. I don't care. If I didn't deal with you then and there in the moment, I could need to let it go now. If I didn't fight you then and there in the moment, I need to let it go now. So if I see you on the road, I will never, ever move hostile to you because that's on you. I'm not going to allow your behaviour to reflect my character. If I don't treat people like that off my own back, I'm never going to do it because you draw me out. Never. Never, ever. But if I want to do something to you now, nobody can tell me nothing. The police will have to come and take me. They will. Because when you see, when you're such a calm, understanding person, yeah, you need to be very careful that you're not making excuses for everyone's fuckery. Like, you need to be very careful, and you need to also be very careful that a lot of people are not inclined in the same way as you, so people will be taken advantage. So you need to be, you know what I'm saying, there's no middle ground. You can be overly understanding, but at the same time, people need to understand that you're the type of person that will really fuck somebody up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. This life is mad. As I said, I don't have a hack sheet. I don't have a cheat blog, whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm muddling through as blind as everybody else. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, guys, that's it. My mouth is dry and my tea's gone cold, and I'm not going to be fake and sit here and drink it in front of you. So right now I need to go collect some water from the tap. The government juice is there for me and I'm going to make use of it. So what I'll say to you is have a lovely, lovely life. Until I see you next time, look after yourself, look after each other. That's Jerry Springer's line, but I'm finna steal it because it's very, very true. But yeah, bye guys. Cheers to the cold tea. Woo!